Hi, I'm Mike Shirley. I'm the director of the GTM Research Reserve, and GTM stands for Guana Talamata Matanzas National Estuarine Research Reserve. The purpose of a research reserve is to conduct research and education to help us understand the natural resources that we depend upon. The reserve does this by either they're directly doing the research with the staff on board, or we bring in visiting educators and researchers to help us understand the system. The importance of doing this for us is to be able to provide information to folks that need to make decisions that help protect these natural resources. The decisions are made by everyone who just may be folks living in the watershed, or to folks that go to the beach or fish or swim, or maybe planning a development, or anything that really affects coastal water quality. So decision makers are pretty much everyone. The Research Reserve is particularly interested in this because these natural systems provide services to us. As humans, we depend on these areas for not only for the aesthetics and the wonderful places to walk and bike and fish and swim, but also because it's important for our economy. The natural systems provide services such as commercial, recreational fishing. They also provide opportunities for folks to have a better area to build their homes and to plan different types of economic developments, shellfish harvesting areas, places where you can have ecotourism, for instance, or great places to photograph wildlife or just view birds. So there's a lot of services that we can see coming out of these natural systems. There's also some services that we tend to take for granted, like the way marshes filter water and the way our beaches protect the shoreline from storm damage, or the way that natural systems provide clean air and clean water. So part of our goal here is to really understand those services and to be able to translate that information into a way that decision makers can use it. This particular project on sea level rise is important to us because sea level rise, especially if sea level rise accelerates, will have a significant impact on these services. Particularly places like marshes and beaches are very sensitive habitats to increasing sea level. Now, our challenge here is that there are some knowns and there are some unknowns about sea level rise. For instance, we know sea level is rising. The rate of rise at this point is not very alarming. It has been increasing, but it's not at a point where we really are truly concerned at the immediate rates of sea level rise. And that's because natural systems, the way marshes accumulate sediments or beaches grow, can keep up with the current rate of sea level rise. Marshes and beaches change naturally with time. The concern is projections for the future. And there's uncertainty in those projections. There's uncertainty in terms of how much humans are affecting sea level rise changes. There's uncertainty in what these rates may be. So the focus of this project is for us to look at scenarios. Some of the scenarios are looking at exactly the rates that are happening right now and assuming that rates will continue at the rate of sea level rise that we're seeing. Other scenarios look at more extreme conditions. And the importance of this is that we know that with sea level rise, we'll have changes in marsh habitats, we'll have changes in beach habitats, we'll have changes in the way freshwater reaches our estuaries. There will be changes in how well our stormwater treatment systems work. If sea level rises fast enough, the way that our coastal communities are able to treat sewage, for instance, with septic tanks will change. So part of the project really focuses, relative to the Research Reserve, on the nuts and bolts of these services that natural systems provide and how sea level rise is going to affect those services. Now, as we look at the scenarios, what we hope to do with this project is to be able to look at a whole watershed scale from where the water starts flowing into the estuary down to the beaches of how sea level rise will affect these systems, and look for opportunities that we can immediately start having a dialogue about that will not only help with current situations with water quality and sea level rise, but maybe better ways to plan for the future if some of the more extreme scenarios should come about. So to us, this is a project that really is directly tied to the purpose of the Research Reserve, getting information out to the community. It also is directly tied to the why we do that, because we want to protect these natural systems that provide so much for our human populations on the coast. The project is a pretty exciting one. It involves folks that have a large range of stake, something at stake within the watershed. We have folks who are landowners, we have folks that have various eco-tour operations, we have people that are realtors, folks that are scientists, we have people that have to do with water supply, and people that do county planning. And so all these folks coming together to start the dialogue is very important to us. If we don't start the dialogue, then we can't identify win-win situations that are available to us right now to address this question of sea level rise.